Sorry for taking a second to get set up. I bumped my camera earlier, so I had to reset it up. Oops. But we're just gonna work on this little chibi today. Let's see if we can. There we go. Hello. How are you? There it is. That's good. A good plan. Poe's chilling on the couch. Okay. What's that? Looking up how to paint darker skin tones today. Masculines has a nice tutorial on Big Child's website, so we're gonna see if we can pick any of that up. More like this, maybe. Let's see. Should we try a couple of yellows? There's like yellow, and then there's. So maybe no, it's not kiwi brown. Oh, maybe it is the dark dear lead yellow. A favorite. So we'll give that a go. Let's see. I did a little bit of sculpting. Let's see the same frame. After work today, just some rock. I might shave this a little bit, but overall happy. It'll be better when there's like moss and all sorts of stuff coming out of it. And then what else did we do? Squished a bunch of aluminum foil into here and the leftover milliput, so you can start filling that in. So you mess around with that. And then, yeah, we can talk about this real quickly since we worked on it yesterday. But we worked on this base on stream yesterday for a little bit, right? There we go. It's all cured up. It looks okay, but I don't know. I'm not really feeling her on the base anymore. I also peeled off these sides because they were sticking out too much, so I shaved it down up here a little bit. I don't know. I'm gonna mull it over for a little bit, but I'm thinking about doing something more simple. This is the base that she came with. So I just plopped that on here, add a bit more rubble and some animals and such. Just keep it simple. Cause I don't know. Not sure about this one. And then other project update. got some feedback on this diorama, and the main feedback was put the wall at an angle rather than having it straight on, which I think we had it last time I showed it yesterday, and I think that makes it look a lot better. So I think the plan is going to be like have this be like some sort of keep or castle gate, and the reason why I didn't initially do it as a stand is I was worried about the dead space back here, but I'm gonna kind of there's a guy on Instagram named Celebrimbor Forge. I don't know, it's some Lord of the Rings name, Celebrimbor Forge, where he kind of makes these not like shadow boxes, but like I think the best way to describe it is like Hollywood houses, where it's like the facade up front and then it's just empty in the back, so like kind of just block off this area to be house instead of dead space. Yeah. The guy who commissioned this was wondering about putting Percival up here and having him back there, but I don't know, having him back there feels weird. Looks like he's walking out of the wall. And Percival just looks like she's standing still, so it seems kind of odd. But anyways, let's get this boy back in here. I also like him being behind because he kind of has legs that are good for walking downstairs, not this height but slightly adjusted, without looking too weird, so can have someone interacting with the stairs, which I think would be neat. I think the other option for her would be to have her, if we have like some sort of thing up here, have her overlooking, but then I think it kind of, I don't know, makes her seem a little bit more weird. Even though I don't know, I think lore-wise this piece doesn't make much sense to begin with, because he is Percival's dog who she left behind because she never came back or something like that. So he like mutated over time into a big scary night thing, and these two are just survivors who are basically LARPing and making swords and stuff, and they're fans or otakus, I guess, of the Black Knight. But yeah, fun stuff. Anyways, let's paint. So let's dust her off because she's been sitting on the shelf for a hot second. I'll be back in just a moment. Hey Loki, how are you? You just missed a project recap or got the end of it? Okay. Start getting all situated. Usually try to do this before I start training, but I did things out of order today. Okay, and then zoom. Nice. What did you work on today? We're working on little chibi lady. Let me pull up my reference photo, aka box art. There we go. Okay. Ooh, nice. Like the big old tags, or something else? I've been interested in getting some tags and trying them out to paint. I have a few like smaller Infinity minis. I have a couple sitting over there primed to paint at some point. Whenever we get through the rest of these Marvel minis. Okay, so hopefully everything stays in frame today. But we'll see. know that Corvus Belly has been teasing a fantasy dungeon crawler slash skirmish game. I think it's called Warcrow is the game name of it. So I'm really interested to see what that looks like. And hello, Sammy. I'm also very interested in seeing. I'm trying to not say keen, so I'm going to be saying very interested because Anna called me out for saying keen, saying I've been hanging out with Australians too much. But sounds like yeah. So there's the Warcrow game, and then there's Broken Anvil's Rivenstone. They're having their Kickstarter. I think I've talked about it a couple times, but someone posted a gameplay video to YouTube that I'm gonna check out at some point. I was thinking about watching it tonight, but figured I would stream. Let's see. That is. Oh, she just has her face exposed to skin. Okay, cool. What are you up to tonight, Sammy? Oh yeah, because Corvus is doing a bunch of stuff in Seocast, right? That should be cool. Too many minis? No such thing. What did you purchase? Oh, we got news that New Kingdoms is finally officially shipping. So they sent their first packages to EU people, and supposedly US early birds will be after they wrap up EU early birds. So maybe I'll get them before the end of the month. I'm not gonna hold my breath on that, but it's possible. Which challenge? Phoenixes or someone else? Okay. Creepy Tables has some cool stuff. Not gotten anything from them. Someday I'll probably get cozy, but I'm not like leaping to pick anything up just yet from them. Generally try to wait until there's a few things that I want from manufacturer. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so those are yellow. Little lightning earrings. Okay, let's keep punching these up a little bit more. Let's see. I mean, not a whole lot new going on. So, let's see. What else is there going on, I guess? Yeah, we're going to be glazing this back very darkly. Let's see. I guess tangential to these minis that are painting now, the Nova Open, which is happening soon. They generally do auctions for charity and such. And I know that one of the auctions that they're doing this year is a big set of Marvel United stuff. Not the X-Men stuff, but like the first Kickstarter stuff, painted by a whole bunch of talented miniature painters. I know that Deno was working on Spider-Gwen. I think Eric Swinson got a couple. Yeah. Should be pretty neat. I think they're trying to break the all-time record for value, I guess. Or like the highest lot price, I guess. That's the right way to say that. Hey, in still? Yeah, it's gonna be very expensive. I mean, I don't know if any of us are going to be able to afford it, but I think it's cool that they're doing that. I guess tangential to that tangent. Dan, okay. Hey Dan. Hey Minimancer. What episode are you gonna watch, Minimancer? I picked up Lost in Space again for some reason. I was like, well, I already watched 2 seasons of this. Might as well watch this 3rd season. It is okay. Our Flag Means Death is fantastic. If you haven't started that, you should start that. Yes, tangential to the tangent. Swinson teased that he has a signature color in the new Chimera Kickstarter, which is a color that he teased a while ago. It's like a very dark, turquoisey, almost like coal black kind of color, but more saturated. It looks pretty cool. So I'm glad I figured out how to make more space on my desk for more paints. Yeah, Anna and I liked Our Flag Means Death a lot, so definite recommendation. Yep, yeah, the one that he listed in his top paints a while ago when he was streaming before he forgot streaming. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going to pick up the signature sets. I think they've said their sets. I think we're supposed to get a tease about it all this week. So excited to see what's in it. And then there's a few of the minis that I like quite a bit. I like the armor chick that was like the first preview. The Chaos guy I like quite a bit. I didn't get any of the Hera Chaos guys, so that one works for me. The Necromancer lady on the dragon's pretty cool, although I think I need to see some more angles of it. And then the zombies are fine. Like the whole diorama with the Necromancer and the zombies is pretty neat, but the zombies themselves are just kind of okay. And I guess in we talked about Inu. Limbo also just opened up their pledge manager finally. So if you want some fantasy 75mm figures, it's worth a look. I think it's doing late pledges. I'm not sure. They also are doing a few Hips minis in that because they're testing out for future Kickstarters. So I'm going to pick those up in a couple of the resins, the 75mm scale. Because Anna told me I had to get Lance, who's the pretty boy with the knife, painted up by Lan. Yeah, I think I learned from Camelot, like I don't really need the little ones, like they're neat, but especially if it's like, it's like 35mm, almost 38mm or something is what the Kickstarter is saying. which is probably get into that range where it's like too big for D&D. And I'm not exactly someone who's like super particular about scale for D&D games. I know there's some people who very much are. But I am not one of those. Yeah, the Paladin's really cool. I like her design a lot. Yep, yeah, I went... Camelot was like my first big... Well, I guess I did the Bones 5 thing and got the core set, but like Camelot was like my first big all-in Kickstarter, except I didn't get the bust or the art book, so I didn't really care for that bust. But I did the whole round table thing. And I've been slowly working my way through them. I got Uther and Sir Kay sitting over there primed up and figuring out the bases for them. Wait for some stuff to get in for Uther. Ordered some more Juila stuff in a variety of scales for some basing fun. Okay, let's do a lot of airbrushing now. Yep, yeah, I've painted like 3 or 4 of the Bones 5 minis. Like, they're fun. But a lot of the ones that I was like really looking forward to because I thought the designs were cool and fun kind of turned out potato. Of course, like vice versa, there were some that I wasn't looking forward to that turned out kind of neat looking. But yeah, Bone 6, when I looked at it at launch, not interested in picking it up. I think my approach to D&D minis now is just like I'll buy special minis for player characters, but other than that, like, I have enough minis to just kind of represent bad things. So like I'm not, when I run games, I'm not the kind of DM that's like, oh, I need 20 zombie minis for my zombies. I'm just like, I have 20 bad things, I'll put them down. They're the right space size. Good enough. And I also have the Dungeon Delvers Kickstarter from Broken Anvil coming eventually, whenever that comes. Hopefully soonish. I think they said by June. So I don't know if you can see in there. Whatever. Just mixing up a darkish tone. That's too light, I think, so we'll add some green back in there. Yeah. I ended up only getting the core and then like a crap ton of bases. I didn't go wild in the pledge manager or anything. I almost got like fan favorites and something else, but like I think I definitely prefer Bones to the average WizKids mini, although I'm interested to see frameworks. The early reviews I saw of it were not glowing though from some people. Apparently the plastic doesn't feel super great. Let's do this, there we go. But we'll see. I know some people in some other Discords that are getting quite a bit, so I'll get a little more insight into that. Let's move this. Yeah, I ended up kind of just moving all my, like the traditional unpainted ones into like a donation kind of bag that I had left over because I'm just not going to paint them. The monsters are fun. I think I painted all of those. this is too dark. Too much. So we're gonna add some magenta in there. Gonna add a bit more of that red oxide in there. Okay, now we have a nice, hopefully chocolatey color. Yeah, Bones USA is, as far as I understand it, very similar to COCast, but they use like metal molds so they last longer. But it's a thermoplasticky kind of thing. I think COCast is super neat. Like it's awesome for mid-sized companies looking to do like medium to high scale kind of production. Like what Broken Anvil is going to be doing. And I've got a sample of it. The details look really crisp on it. What else? It's like super durable, like you can drop it on the floor and it's fine. Like it came with like a sword and you can like bend it 180 degrees and it's totally cool. Even like the little base thing that it came with, which was pretty thick, I think I was able to bend it like slightly past 90 degrees, and then like when I tried to go like 180 degrees, that's when it finally snapped, but it's a clean break, so you could just glue it back together easily. But yeah, super impressed with it. Okay, let's go back in now. Here, I'm gonna hair dry this real quickly. You have been graced by the Poe. Okay. So yeah, went a little farther in the opposite direction now. We were too pale. Now we kind of lost a bit of our contrast, so let's see if we can get some of that back. Yeah, I'm a big fan of sketch and airbrush, and I guess kind of going back to Bones, like that's really good. Like I like taking the chunky minis out of there and trying weird things with them. It's like one thing I have. Hello, sir. Can I help you? Can I help you? I'm not doing anything. Sounds like they like doing underpaintings in different tones and like doing glaze over in another color to get what you want. Like I did like an orange skin troll and I did a magenta underpainting for it. That's kind of what I like those for. Let's get this even thinner. Okay. I mean, if you sketch and refine is like, obviously like you can try like priming and varnishing just to get a handle of maintenance and how it works in general. But sketch and refine, like basically my journey with it has been like, okay, try doing it on one area of the mini, like the first area I work on, try doing it there. Because like if you overspray, whatever, I haven't worked on the other bits just yet. And then like once you start getting a handle of that, like I think the big things to kind of dial in there is like your consistency of your paints. And then obviously like I was going somewhere and I wasn't. Yeah, like mainly like consistency of your paints, your air pressure, that kind of stuff, making sure you don't pool everywhere, making sure you kind of get glaze over without erasing everything, all that kind of stuff. Like those are the kind of important things to kind of start out with. And then from there, what I started doing is like, okay, how accurate can I get with my airbrushing? So can I sketch and refine with the airbrush on smaller and smaller areas without kind of going in like screwing up other things that I've worked on? And how you can do that is you just like, instead of just going with your overcoat, like kind of like, it's like I would start with this one and I would just kind of spray indiscriminately over it to like get the glazing and the soft, like the blending done, right? So then you kind of want to like, okay, focus fire, like get in and make sure that like, okay, am I not getting into the other areas? Cool. Like that helps you with their control. So like kind of exercises like that, where you're not sitting there and like doing accuracy tests on a piece of paper, you're actually doing it on a model. And then just kind of like the next thing that I've been working on, so this stage that I'm doing with my brush right now, I've been trying to do with my airbrush more and more. So the going back in and pushing things up and taking them down and all that good stuff. Because when you kind of go over with that, when you go over that glaze, you kind of kill your highlights and your shadows, like your deepest highlights and your brightest, or your brightest highlights and your deepest shadows kind of get all brought together, and that's how everything gets blended, right? So you have to kind of go back in and add that contrast in again. So you can either go and do that with the brush and do kind of thin glazes so that you keep your smoothness, or thicker glazes like we're doing here, just because this is for fun, quick little gaming chibi mini, hopefully session and a half, if that. We'll see how much we can get done on her. Her outfit's not super complicated, so we might be able to finish her today, depending on how distracted I get. Yeah, like I'm doing this to paint minis and have fun. I don't really, like, I know you could like pull out the cube or whatever like Sam Lens has, or like I know a lot of people like to practice on a sheet of paper. Like I think Craftful has a whole exercise like brush strokes on a sheet of paper, but that's a lot of work. Not to say like you probably like, it's probably faster to do like those kind of dedicated practices, but I think it's less fun, for me personally. So like going back to our previous examples, if you're like, well, I want to practice this stuff, but I don't want to rest up a nice mini, that's what Bones is great for, or little gaming chibi minis are great for. And if you want to like watch a actual professional do it, highly recommend looking at Sergio Calvo's streams. He has a lot of them recorded on YouTube now, and I think he's starting to stream on Twitch this week. I think he's gonna do a stream on Thursday. That sounds right to me. But if you look at Sergio Calvo, he has a Twitch channel. But yeah, he's a master of like using the airbrush in tiny little details, and it's very educational. And then he uses the airbrush like for like 90% of his stuff now, I feel. Oops. Like I think over time he's switched to using the airbrush more and more because it's just faster for him. So I recommend checking it out. He also has like a video on, so like he and a lot of people generally use like the hairy brush to kind of get their initial sketch, but he has some where he uses the airbrush to get the sketch in. There's a video about that on YouTube that I recommend checking out. There's someone else who I was going to recommend for airbrushing. I guess related to these, the Big Child Creatives YouTube channel has one with Ruben Martinez. I always want to say Arnau, but it's Ruben Martinez. Really? Every time I've tuned into his stream live, he's actually painting and not chatting. Maybe like early on he chats a lot and then he gets painting, because I usually tune in later on in the stream. But yeah, there's a series of videos of Ruben Martinez painting Mohawk Guy, Yondu, from Guardians of the Galaxy, the chibi version of it. And he does this whole technique that I've been trying to do on these, which is like you do the zenithal and then you put in your shadows where the shadows are, highlights where the highlights are, and you use the airbrush to kind of get those nice gradients. So it's that's kind of where I picked up like before like watching those videos, I generally just pick a paint and put it directly in my airbrush. Like I'd go like this, like put the drop in the thing. But after watching that, I was like, oh, you can like pick the paints up off the palette and like put them in the airbrush and you mix them and test them out. Like it's, in retrospect, it seems like a no doy kind of thing, but I don't know. It was like seeing someone do that and like seeing that exercise was very helpful. He's also just a very nice and pleasant guy to listen to. Yeah. I think that mostly covers. And then of course, Angel Heraldez, who I think also is starting to stream on Twitch too. All the Spanish people are getting in on it. Yep, yeah. Like the whole video is very light bulby. Like the other thing, I've been doing this like zenithal and sketch shadows, sketch highlights a lot more. Like I did that on Holland a lot, as well as especially on the dwarf miner, because with the OSL it helped. So like it's just an all-around good video to watch, or a series of videos. Even if you're not a fan of chibis, which I know a lot of you aren't. I think these Marvel ones are fun. But yeah. Yep. Exactly. And of course for Twitch streamers, Deno's another good one to watch, obviously, for airbrush glazing. Swinson does it a little bit, but he doesn't show his airbrushing on stream too often. He generally does that off camera. But my understanding is he'll use it for larger areas. I believe Angel had a video recently all about using the airbrush to blend. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of like light bulb moments watching Deno paint. Yeah, he has a really nice use of saturation that I'm still trying to wrap my head around. That's still an area I struggle with a lot. Yeah, I think that's something I've been trying to be a lot better about myself, is just try stuff, right? It's just paint. You can redo it pretty easily. You have to really try to get to the point where it's okay, you have to strip the model to fix it. Okay, I think that's decent. It's a little bit darker than the art. That's okay. Let's maybe pop this up ever so slightly. Yeah, all this glazing stuff, Sergio uses the airbrush where he I guess notoriously, maybe, I don't know if that's the right word, but hates using the brush to glaze. So let's see, let's paint a whole lot of white now. God, that's a lot of white. Okay. I guess let's start with the hair. Sure. We can maybe bust out some of these. That would be fun to play around with. Let's get that pre-mixed. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna, on theme or on topic, try some shit. That's not mixed. Okay. And then will be the opposite. Sure. We'll see what happens. Or I guess have that yellow there. Okay. So let's start with the hair. I need the deeper one. And should have followed my instinct. There we go. Lovely. We'll likely be using our favorite paint, Pro Acryl Transparent White, to kind of blend everything together on all these white bits. Ooh, oops, that slipped. Why did you slip? Stupid handle. There we go. Come on, brush. A very big head, yes it is. Hello, Crypt Shadow. It's for all those weather powers. I don't know. How are you doing on this Monday evening? This poor brush. I've abused it so much. I should be nicer to my brushes. I should also hoard a bunch of brushes, probably, before I'm unable to get them for whatever reason. Yeah, I mean, I got a lot. A lot of them are like brands that I picked up to try, and they're kind of just okay. I would like to hoard Rosemary Core 33s, but we still can't order them into the States. So that kind of sucks. Oh, I think miniaturepainting.com might have them. Oh, there goes Poe. Bye, Poe. I'll have to check again to see if they have them, because if they do, I'll just buy a bunch. Maybe they did have them, but they didn't have size 2, which is the one that I want. Though I do like these Raphaels a lot, so worst case, I'll just place another big order from Jackson's. I don't know, man. The world keeps being dumb, right? Who knows what'll happen next? Yep. Yeah, I'm not... I had one okay Windsor Noon, but the rest are garbage, so... I think Raphael is a better alternative to Windsor Noon. I think the Rosemary & Co's just put up with beatings better than... They put up with beatings and they have, like, a nice tip. Like, this is a Rosemary & Co. that, like, kind of lost its tip. But then it kind of, like, got it back. And I feel bad because I'm using it as my, like, airbrush brush. So... probably use an old Raphael for that instead, and see if I can get this one in tip-top shape again. What's wow? Yeah. So, well, you can get like the non-Sable from their website, but you can't get the Series 33, which is the one that I like, which is Sable. Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely like long and skinny. They don't have quite as much spring as the Raphaels, which I think is why I do like to get the Raphaels. Like the Raphael has a nice amount of spring. But I don't know, the Rosemary Coat is like, if you go really light with it, it has kind of a decent spring. I think my big thing that I look for in brushes is like how well do they snap back to where they were. So like, yeah, this Rosemary Coat I abuse a lot. Like sometimes you can see like when I go that direction it droops a bit. When I go back that way it droops up a bit. Whereas with this Raphael, you can kind of see they always go back to straight. This is a Series 33 that I've abused. There we go. You can see I marked the edge, so I know it's my chunk brush. Yeah, I like the 8404s quite a bit. My go-to stipple brush is this piece of garbage Artisan Opus M2 that like lost its tip immediately, but it's great for hair and fur and all that stuff. It's lovely. Look at it. It's a piece of garbage. And then my little itty bitty brush at the moment. I forgot to clean them yesterday, which is why all their tips are screwed up. This is the little Broken Toad that I've been using for a bit. Broken Toads are okay, but I find they have that kind of droop problem a little bit, and like they're hard to get and kind of pricey. So I prefer the Rosemary and Co's to the Broken Toads. We can just talk about brushes for a second. I do have like, as much shit as I just gave that Artisan Opus brush. When you get a nice Artisan Opus brush, like they're really good. Like they have a really sharp tip. Yeah, like they're nice brushes when they're good. It's just like I feel like their QC is kind of terrible. And again, I feel like they're too much for what you get. But yeah, I have a ton of Raphaels that I did in a Jackson's order. The Monument brushes are fine. I think you're better off getting Rosemary and Co. They're either I've heard they're either just Winsor & Newman's or they're just Rosemary and Co.'s. I think the Squidwires are Da Vinci's, which Da Vinci is also nice. I have a Maestro that I've had for quite a while, but I don't use it that often. It's dusty. But they have a nice, lovely tip. I picked up the scale color brushes when I ordered some paints. That's another Raphael that's hiding there. Did I yeet the scale color ones? Go back in there, please, sir. Sir. Okay, well, I'll just stick you up there for now. I'm sure that won't drive me insane later. Oh, here we go. This is one of the scale 75 ones. I think you're better off getting the Monument ones than you are getting these. Especially, I think the newer Monuments are slightly better. They're still very much you get what you pay for. But yeah, like Dan just said, you don't feel bad tearing them up, and they've handled metallics pretty well. So like, if you hate painting metallics because you have to use a synthetic brush, I would sorry, I hit the microphone. I'd recommend picking up some of these Pro Sable monument brushes. Just like throw one in your order when you're picking up some primer or transparent white or jade or mahogany. And then I also use their synthetics quite a bit. This one's seen a lot of use. Hello, thank you. It's an older one, but good big brush, has a nice snap. And that basically covers it. Then I have a whole bunch of garbage brushes. I have some old Blix brushes from when I first started that are just like basing paste stuff now. Yeah, their primer is great. I love it. I basically just exclusively use the dark neutral gray primer now. It's lovely. Okay, Sammy. And I forgot to set that up again, didn't I? Oops. All right. Well, we were painting, right? Right. Let's speed up a little bit. I've been dilly-dallying. I've never tried Steinores. I've heard that the newer batches of Steinores are not great though. So I'll walk through the pros and cons of the Monument Primer. I think the pros are it gives you a really nice finish to paint on. It's a little bit matte. I know some people don't like that, but I think for primer it makes a lot of sense. Like your paint grips to it. My previous go-to.
Getting me off topic again.
That's okay. My previous one that I still use fairly often is Vallejo Mecca Black. I like the Vallejo Mecca over the Vallejo Model because the Vallejo Model stuff I kept running into like peeling issues a lot of the time, especially on metal ones. But this stuff is really tough. Like my KDM bases, like the black rings. There's some putty on the bottom of her, but ignore that. That white stuff's not chipping. That's poster putty that I didn't peel off. But yeah, that's just primer, and that's totally fine. The only thing is like it's a slightly glossier surface, and sometimes I found like my base coats would be like ever so like not like in a way that would like inhibit me. Is that the right word? Like from painting, but like enough that like okay, I know I have to get a layer down, and then after that I can enjoy painting. Also, sorry, Paintman Journeying, I missed your comment. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I found the Artist Opus brushes either last a while or they just die instantly. So, but my pro tip is these little M brushes make great hair and fur brushes. Yeah, this stuff is tough. It's good. Doesn't peel. If I need to like prime and paint something right away, I'll use this. But Vallejo or the Monument Pro Acryl, you definitely need to let it cure. Sometimes I'll just hair dry it and then let it sit for like an hour or so, like a few hours, and then it's okay. But usually they recommend letting it sit overnight. If you don't do that, it will just rub off. So that's something to be careful about. I've found that if you prime it and let it sit for a while, you're okay to handle the model. Like, speaking of calling back to the beginning of the stream, here we got Sir K. He's primed in it. I can touch him. It's fine. He was primed a while ago. And for even more testing, here's a metal miniature. I can touch it. Well, you can see I missed some spots, so I'll have to primer again. But I can touch it. It's fine. So as long as you let it cure, it's okay. But just know that until it's like fully cured, the primer layer itself is a bit delicate. But once you get a paint coat over it, totally fine. But it's really nice to paint over. The other really nice thing is you don't need to thin it at all. You just put it right in your airbrush. In fact, that's what they recommend. They recommend don't thin this, or it can behave a little weirdly if you do. And it's really easy to clean up. So that's one thing I found with the Vallejo because you do have to thin it, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to clean up. Like I have to do a full deep clean of my airbrush work, but the monument stuff I can kind of I can get by with just doing a kind of light cleaning. Yeah, I don't think you're missing anything, Paint Man, on skipping out on Artis Opus. Like they do have the fancy little boxes. If you want to be a fancy little person, you get the little box and then you have the little palette. It's all messed up. Like this does make me feel fancy when I take it out. But this, I think this is a nice gift to get. I wouldn't pay for it myself. So if you have a birthday or a holiday coming up and someone's like, hey, what do you want for your birthday? And you don't have any ideas, you can be like, hey, give me this stupid, ridiculously overpriced dry brush set. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard. It was interesting that your white primer's fine. I've heard another pro to the Pro Acryl is I've heard that their white primer is actually really good. I almost picked some up, but then I decided not to for whatever reason. I think I had a moment of frugality in my hobbying purchases, so I decided to not get it. But yeah, I've been interested in trying AK's primer. I think a hobby shop near me actually carries it, and I need to go there to get some. I'm almost out of Ultra Matte, which is terrifying. So I may have to stop there. Interesting. Yeah, I've not tried Green Stuff World's brushes, so I'll have to. Next time I place an order with them, maybe I'll pick some up. Early pandemic me was definitely like, I'm gonna try all the brushes and see which ones I like. And the end result was Rosemary & Co. and Raphael's were my favorites. Yeah, feel free to drop links. Just like use your common sense. Like don't link anything like bad. If you link any NFTs, I'll yeet you into the next galaxy. We are very anti-NFT here. Amazon. Something on Amazon. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get this darker line in. Nice. the worst. I love mess. Yeah, they're so. Hating NFTs is not politics. Everyone should hate NFTs. If you're like, why should I hate NFTs? There's a great video on a YouTube channel called Folding Ideas. It's 2 hours, but it's well paced and it doesn't like waste any of your time. Highly recommend giving that a watch. It's just like a really good video essay and thing to have on the background while you're hobbying, in case you get tired of listening to my stupid voice. Yeah. They are just so terrible. I guess on the terrible trend today, Elon Musk bought almost 10% of Twitter, so that's great. But Hard Drive had a really good article, which was Elon Musk buys nearly 10% in app that owns him constantly. It's good stuff. Good stuff. I don't know if Crypt is in there or not. I can drop a link to the Dirty Paint Water in maybe. If people are interested in joining. It's if you're familiar with Ben Layton, he runs a little community called the Dirty Paint Water Inn on the Discord. Which is a pretty chill place. Mini-Mancer's there. It is mostly Australians and then a few like North Americans. And then I have my own channel there where I post all the new minis that I find and try to convince people to buy them. It's great. They quarantined me because I was doing it in a general channel. We're just gonna get this blue in with the remaining areas and work up from there. That's a lot of Discords. I have not joined that many, thankfully. And I'm only really active. I'm in, I don't know, a few. But I'm only really active in like 2.5. That isn't including my private D&D Discord. Yeah, like most of them I just have muted, like all the Patreon ones I have muted. I just go and check them every now and then. I used to be relatively active in the Craft World one, and then just got to noisy, which is good for them. But eh. I think I'm in the Reaper one, but I muted that one instantly the second I joined it because I was like, oh, okay, No, thank you. Too many people. I know MCDM has like a mini painting channel, but it's a different crowd for the most part. More about painting for D&D than for display and such, which is kind of what I care about more lately. Maybe a little too teal, but it's okay. A lot of the saturation will go away for a little bit when we glaze over everything. Yep, yeah, I've muted basically everything there. Also, sorry for my hair getting in the way. I'll have to tweak the camera back to where it was before. I very quickly got it into a good spot when I realized that I bonked it out of place. Yep. Yeah, like I'm in the Broken Anvil one. Muted that one for the most part and check it like once a week just to see what's going on. See if they have any updates on my minis. Oh. Hey, thanks for the subscription, Dan. Yeah, the ones that I'm mostly active in are the Dirty Paint Water. I'll chime in on Eric's every now and then, post memes and such, and sightings of things. The Kingdom Death one's probably my most active one, because I shit post there all the time. And then Dwarven Forge one I used to be pretty active on, but kind of, yeah, like there's not too much going on right now. So I'll be active when there's streams and usually hang out there on Critical Role because there's a few guys that I talked to about the episodes with there. Yeah, I recently upgraded my streaming setup. The camera's new. It used to be my phone. Maybe that'll be slightly better. Here, yeah, I can go grab Poe. He was here a second ago. Might as well. Here, one sec. BRB. Here's the baby boy. Oh no, he wiggle. Oh, he's stinky. He was supposed to get a bath this weekend. But we only have one towel, and Ez was stinkier, so Ez got the bath. Yeah. Eric's Discord has been really nice. A lot of cool people in there. Nice to get feedback from Eric. Hopefully he starts streaming again because it was nice to have him on while hobbying. And hopefully he's able to come out to the Pacific Northwest. Because it'd be cool to take a class. And I don't know about going to any big conventions just yet. I think it's gonna be at least a year of things getting better before I'm comfortable with going to a convention, unfortunately. All right. Thanks, Dan. Have a nice week. Hopefully I'll see you around on the Discords and such. Yeah, Adepticon would have been... Yeah, Adepticon I definitely want to go to at some point. But yeah, looking at the pictures of everyone walking around, I made the right choice of not going. I had enough, anxiety coming back from the Formula One race, which was an outdoor event in November. So... Yes, I do. I've been bad about keeping up with it the last couple of seasons. Like a lot of the drivers that I followed kind of retired. So, but I can grab something in a second. So get to a stopping point here. I did just it's like I like video games and all that sort of stuff. I did find out that Danny O'Dwyer has an F1 podcast. If you don't know Danny O'Dwyer, he does No Clip, which is a YouTube channel that does video game documentaries that are generally very well put together. He did like the making of Hades kind of things, so like from them announcing the early access to them launching, they were like embedded and recorded and all that stuff, and it was really cool. Yeah, found out recently that he also does a Formula One podcast, so listen to a little bit of that. It had a good primer episode for anyone who's interested in Formula One and has no idea what's going on. Although there's also the so here, I'll grab the thing I was saying. Sure. I mean, my favorite podcast right now is The Besties. Yeah, here I got these. The inaugural Formula One Grand Prix at Coda. Went there with my dad. Very fun. Let's see if we can get this put back on. Codex Rex. Let's see if I can pop this open. Nice. We'll check that out. Yeah, no clip is like like video documentaries. Like their most recent video was on the Half-Life remake thing, Black Mesa. And like them wrapping that up in the whole development of that is pretty interesting. There he goes to go be a couch boy. But yeah, so tangential to Formula One, or on the topic of Formula One, I guess. Better way to phrase that. Like Netflix has that Drive to Survive show that came out a few years ago. I took a break from going to CODA for a couple of years, but we went this year, my dad, sister, and I, and dear God, there was like 100,000 more people there than there was the last time I went, and it was an absolute nightmare. I think it was a mixture of, well, there was COVID, and then also like there's just more F1 fans in the States now. And yeah, it was a lot of people. And the great thing they did is, so you used to be able to walk around the whole outside of the track, and there's a bridge in the middle if you don't want to like walk around all the way to get there. You can take the middle bridge in the middle of the track to get from one side to the other. But the track has like a huge back straight, and they closed the walking path on that back straight, so you can't walk all the way around the track anymore. So if you like, basically there's the back straight and there's the entrance here, and we wanted to sit at the end of the back straight, so our options were either to walk all the way around the rest of the track or to take the middle part, which is what everyone was. So it took like an hour just to cross that middle part. It was terrible. Tickets just went on sale for this year. My dad was like, "You want to go?" I was like, "No." I'm glad Formula One's getting more popular in the States, but I'll just watch it on the TV and maybe try to go to a different race in another country. Where it's not just a bunch of fans that are cheering for the winning team. That's the real reason why I'm angry. Bunch of Yankees people, basically. Everyone wearing Mercedes hats. Just sandbagging. Is that the right term? Yeah. Yeah, my teams were Ferrari a little bit, but they've kind of been terrible for the last like over a decade. I liked Red Bull with Mac Webber and Sauber F1 was another team that I rooted for pretty regularly. It's like the nice thing about F1 is like you don't have to root for, like there's basically like kind of 3 tiers in the racing. In F1 there's like the front runners, which the past few years have been Mercedes, Red Bull, kind of Ferrari, kind of McLaren, and then there's been like the mid-tier teams, which is like the Saubers. Well, Sauber's gone now. Like the Saubers, the Williams, the Team Force Indias, which is also gone now. The Renaults, etc. And there's the backmarker teams, which is like Haas and other people. So you can kind of root at different levels and all that kind of stuff. Very cool. Yeah, I definitely want to go see like a street race at some point, like for Formula One. So there's the one in Singapore. There's obviously the one in is Monte Carlo. Man, I'm blanking on names today. I think Monte Carlo is the city, but not the name of the country or whatever. Or it's the other way around. Someone will correct me. Where else is there? Trying to think where else there was for street circuits. There's a new one. I thought Russia maybe is partially it, but obviously that's not happening anytime soon. Yeah, Monte Carlo is just a tax haven thing. But Monte Carlo is not the name that I'm thinking of. Monaco Grand Prix. That's the name. Okay, there we go. Got it. Got there. We're good. But I would also really like to go to Suzuka at some point. Because it's a cool historic track and also another excuse to go to Japan. That's a long time to build the track, but I guess that makes sense because you don't want to just kind of slap that together. And I would imagine there's multiple race events over a couple weekends or something like that. Let's do some airbrushing. Oh, it's only 10 o'clock because I actually started streaming at a reasonable time. Regret doing that probably. Oh wait, that's what I'm really gonna regret doing is not turning on the air compressor. There's my brush. There's my brush. Yeah, I think Monte Carlo is the name of the principality, and then Monaco is the name of the city, but it's basically just Monaco, one way or the other. Got it. Why am I still getting... I guess I did not clean this out well. Long Beach... Yeah, it's not Formula One. It is probably... It might be IndyCar. Yeah. Another racing championship that I like quite a bit, but I don't keep up with as quite as much as the World Endurance Championship, which is like Le Mans and 24 hours of Daytona, 12 hours of Daytona. Sebring is the other one, but it's long endurance races. So the car itself is running for that amount of time, but they usually have 3 drivers, I think. It's just interesting to watch. Okay, why is this thing not getting cleaned? Let's take a second here. There's just stuff in the cup. LB. Oh, the Grand Prix is happening on April 10th? Nice. Or not nice. One way or the other. Sorry, doing some airbrush cleaning. Because we want to airbrush white and not brown. We kept wanting to airbrush brown. That's fun. Okay, let's give this another go. Maybe there was just paint on this brush and that's why. There we go. Now it's staying white, right? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Now we're back in business. Oops, we got a little bit of flooding, but that's okay. We'll live. Let's pop that up with the brush a little bit. Do. Let's shape. Yeah, let's get her eyebrows while we're thinking about it. touch up with the brush because I'm being lazy. I did not play any Elden Ring yesterday. Yesterday evening, what did I do yesterday evening? I watched some TV. I chilled a bit, and then I looked at some of the future project stuff to kind of think about it a little bit more. That's kind of about it. Here too blue. Where do we like it? I like it. So I think we need to pop up some things a little bit more to white though in a few areas. All right, Sammy. Thanks for staying around, hanging out, and all that good stuff. Chatting. I'll probably be back on Friday, as per usual. But yeah. All right, let's go on to the next bit of armor. So let's see. Let's make the armor more tannish. Sure. And our cape is just black. Okay. And then she has a few yellow accents. So let's see what we can do. All right. Okay. Is that part of her cape there? Yeah, okay. Here, what color are her booty shorts? The mini doesn't have a good image, so let's see. Storm. 90s cartoon. Oh, it's just all white. Okay, cool. key. Because I couldn't pop her off the base, so this one makes sense to use. I'm still not quite used to rotating the menu rather than the handle, but getting there. So it might be a little bit more yellow to begin with, but we'll see. What else is going on in the world? I don't know if there's anything fun going on in the world that we've not already talked about. The tea? That tea. Oh no. Is this the stupid startup thing? Or something else? Oh, did it fail already? Oh. Bummer. It's very dumb to have it in games. Like, there's literally nothing NFTs can do in games that you can't already do with existing tech. It's just a lot more wasteful. And the whole, like, play to earn thing just sounds utterly miserable and like the most boring cyberpunk dystopia we could have. Which honestly, we're probably in that. I don't know what we did to deserve it, but we didn't get any of the cool robots or anything or the cool augmentations. But we got billionaires being little crybabies on social media. So here we are. Yeah, I love all those NFT things that are like, hey, we're gonna make a MMO. And it's like, no, you're not. Do you know how difficult it is to make an MMO? Basically impossible. Like, I think the only real, like, successful MMO that's launched since WoW is probably Final Fantasy XIV. And that was after it was a complete and utter failure and they had to kill the game. Like, in lore, they killed the world to make it good. Which, tying back to an earlier discussion, there's a really good no-clip documentary on Final Fantasy XIV. I highly recommend checking it out. It's like, it's very interesting, like, what they did to bring the game, like to make it good, I guess. Yeah, I guess Elder Scrolls Online, and there's the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic or whatever. And yeah, the Korean games are like super successful with their gacha stuff, but I was being dramatic. Yeah, Lost Ark's not an MMO though, right? It's just an online game. Black Desert Online, I just know because I think Young Tae Kim was like the concept artist for it. And back when I was doing the drawings, he was definitely an artist that I liked a lot. No, I don't know what it is, man. I thought it was I thought it was the Diablo thing that you played online. Well, I know Black Desert Online is an MMO, but I thought Lost Ark was a Diablo thing. That's what all my friends said. Oh, I know. But I thought that I don't know, all the videos I saw looked like a Diablo thing. Colors on this turned out kind of weird, but whatever. It's time to do deep clean on this airbrush, but let's see if we can just fake it till we make it. I don't think we can fake it till we make it. Oops, fuck that up. Oh, this is the company I'm thinking of. They're trying to do like an asset marketplace with NFTs, like the Unity asset store, but NFTs. Or something dumb. It didn't look like they had an actual game last time I was looking at it. Okay, I think we mostly salvaged that. It's fine. Check your rings. Check this Apple Watch. good news, everyone. Her eyes are just pure white. Because she's in storm mode. So let's just paint those real quick, like. Yeah, and lots of investors are just like, oh, NFT, make money. That's why all the big game companies are saying they're doing NFTs. Because investors are eating it up. Yay, capitalism. Yep. Want to know the fun NFT news from today? Apparently, Starbucks is going to launch NFTs. They think it's going to be a way to win back like the people who are unionizing or something. And it's like, what? Yeah, I sent you a tweet, Anna. Look at all the great tweets I sent you. I sent you so many while you were ignoring me. There was not much to explain. They were just like, we're gonna do NFTs, get excited. Why must you sleep? Let's make her lips a little bit more red. So let's get some of that. Crispy crimson. Well, that doesn't want to come out. There we go. Yeah. I get ignored for many reasons. It's very sad. Me, a cis young white man, can't find a platform where people listen to me. Truly the greatest crime of our generation. And by platform, I mean me sending tweets to Anna. I don't ignore you well, I guess I don't ignore you during Critical Role if you send me messages. I'll ignore you during actual me playing D&D because I'm focusing on the game. But we haven't had that for a while because I haven't done yet, been out on the East Coast for a bit. Yeah. So it's easy to talk to Poe. He's right there. Okay, let's paint her cloak. That's the next big part. I got this lovely... Don't I have... Where is that color? It's somewhere. There's that one. Could have sworn I took it out because I like it. So, italics, maybe I put it in here. I hate my things. Nope, not there. There she is. We found her. the color that we want. A color that you can no longer buy, I don't think. Actually no, they might still have paints. Secret weapon. Because they're out of business. Every time I go to their website, it has less and less stuff. It's very sad. I had heard that someone was going to buy the rights to their stuff, but I'm not sure if that happened or not. Oops. Secret weapon miniatures. They do. Well, they used to do like resin cast stuff, like little bases that had scenery and also some plinths. But they have a paint range that I think they developed with Reaper because the bottles look the same as Reaper, I think. And the other good thing I have from them is pigments. I think you can still get some of these on their site. I think they still have some in stock. They love brass etching stuff, and they used to be the Wrathcore distributor for the US. But not anymore. Yep. Yeah, they're basically out of business, but they still have their remaining stock on their site for what hasn't been sold yet. Yeah, I think they still have, last I checked, which was a little while ago, because I was just like, oh, are they still around? They still had paints and pigments and something else. I think they still have like some gaming bases in stock. We just going on thick with this stuff. Ain't got no time to mess around. Yeah. Yeah, when they announced they were going out of business, I got the remaining pigments that I wanted and picked up a couple paints from like Vince's recommended paints video. They're okay paints. Yeah, I know a lot of people like their washes quite a bit. Like they're one of the few places in the States where you could get resin plinths, so that was nice. Or like just display plinths in general. There's not a whole lot of places in the States that do that. Miniature comp. I think I know the one you're talking about. They had resin plinths and stuff, right? And they had some miniatures as well, or something like that. I don't know if I'm making that up. Yeah, I think I remember finding them. I was like, oh, this is neat. And then I looked for them again another time and they were gone. I don't know if they're still gone or what. But yeah, for the States, Last Cavalry's pretty great. Found them recently. Noble Knight's pretty good, and they're getting like more and more display stuff, both miniatures and like they have a bunch of green stuff world things. Yeah. And then miniaturepainting.com, which I think I talked about earlier when we were talking about brushes. But they carry the Wrathcore holders. Yeah, navigating Noble Knights like not fun. Like once you figure it out, it's okay, but figuring it out is a challenge. But they got a lot of stuff. They had pretty good deals. What's not to like? Last Cavalry is also very much in the feels old camp. But they carry Galapagos and other. They have Black Sun stuff, but not that many. Because no one has that much Black Sun stuff right now. Also, sorry if I've been off camera for the last little bit. Oops. Okay, that'll all be yellow. I'm gonna stand up and get some water and stretch for a second. And I'll be right back. We'll probably clean my airbrush when we get back. So, BRB. took a sleeping pill. Oops. And if you need to sleep, go to sleep. No need to stay up. It's getting late. Alright, let's clean this stupid thing out. It's been a hot second since I cleaned this out, so it's about time we do that. And then we'll see if we can finish her up because we're almost done. We just have yellow bits, little logo bits. We'll get part of the logo bits in a second. And then the base, which will take not too long because it's already there. You woke up at 1 p.m.? You know, the statement's I'm an adult and I woke up at 1 p.m. Slightly conflicting. I don't even remember like the last time, like the latest I've slept in recent memory is probably like 10 a.m. if that. Like in the last year, maybe like 9. Yeah. There's skunk there, so let's just take her all the way apart. Get her nice and clean. Put the nozzle there and don't touch it. Starters, get some cleaner on the cleaner thing. This little pipe cleaner, Jimmy Jabby. And we clean it out. Rinse it off, put it back in again. Make sure we get any gunk that's in there out. Looks like we got some lovely gunk in there. Okay. Rinse this off again. Then we call it good. Put it away. Okay. Then we take this little makeup sponge. Oops. Polished up. Gotta look pretty for the camera. Right. Doing a better job of keeping a towel at my desk so I don't have to use paper towels for everything. Okay, that looks good. I want to make sure the needle's nice and clean. So I'll as I'm running through here. Okay. And then while we've got it apart, I will take some lube and just drop it in there with the trigger. Keep that nice and smooth. We'll also put some lube on the needle when we get to that point. But we need to clean that off first. Okay. Then we grab the nozzle before we lose it. Very gently clean it out. Okay. And I usually like to just kind of just stick the tip in there and then blast cleaner through it. Now the fun part with this airbrush, which is getting the nozzle back on, which I'm very bad at, so just bear with me. There we go. Only 2 tries. There we go. Got it. And we want to just get it. Here's the little wrench that comes with it. Get it just slightly tighter than finger tight. Not too much. Okay. Let me put all these back on. And we should take a second to clean this out. Do I have any Q-tips? Yes, I do. I filled it up. Go me. Shiny. Okay. Now we just put this back together somehow. There we go. There's that. Get this back in. Here we go. So the tighter this is, the harder it is to pull back the trigger, the looser it is, the easier it is to pull back, so you can just kind of adjust it a little bit. Now, cleaned up the needle. So now I just put a little bit of lube on it, so it's a little bit easier to get in, and I don't know, paint lube slides off it better for a little bit. I don't know if that's really true or not, but it makes this part easier of getting it back in. Just kind of gently push it forward. Okay. Let's see if this looks real quickly. Looks fine. Okay. Flowing water smooth, so that's good. Alrighty, let's grab up to you. Touch thinner in there first. Blancos. What is blancos? Blancos. I mean, blancos is with the C though. So I don't know what blancos is. Oh, is that the stupid game? Okay. It's the stupid game. Quote unquote game. Where is my pokey? There's my pokey. Okay. I will, let's see. Let's see if we can get this wrapped up in like half an hour. There. We forgot to paint these parts of her robe. Those little X's real quickly. Get the red. think the we're not going for perfect on this mini, we're going for done. Alright, let's do the yellow bits next. Okay, so we got. Let's use that. Then we'll also get out some other fun colors in a second. Yes. What's up, Crypt? Which one do I think would look better? Give me a minute. Not you. Okay, let's pop these bad boys open. Oh, okay. I was like, you sent me a bendy thing. You sent me a Among Us guy. Okay, so this goes on a ship thing. Is it like the clear versus I would say the first one you sent me. I think I like that one better. It seems more sinister than a clear cockpit.
Come on.
Oops, and I'm in frame again. Good job. Good job, me. Whoa, way in frame that time. Yeah. we're just gonna be a little bit heads down until this is done. See if we can just finish this in one session, that'd be nice. Just have these yellow bits and then the base. Which I know it's very orangey right now. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay, yellow bits. Yay. Let's, before we continue on, see if we can get this. Give this another coat to make it a little bit darker. Make sure we got all the corners filled in. Okay. Let's do her base real quickly. So, what's the easiest way to do this? Probably paint the little cloud thing first. Let me get a bunch of stuff out of the way. Yeah. Good job. Okay. These there. We'll probably use you though. Good enough. Good enough. Okay. Oops. You go. There. Sure. Okay. Not okay. Now okay. So we got you. Let's grab you. Why not? And then you. No. You. Got him. Okay. Okay. Got those colors. Let's slap this paint on this base. You got it. I must finish this before I want to sleep. You must stay awake. We can do it together, buddy. I believe in us. I'll try to speed up. Come on, paint. Get off the brush. There we go. But also, if you need to sleep, go to sleep. Yes, I know you woke up at 1 p.m., but at some point you gotta reset, and that generally means going to bed earlier than you want to. Also, if you see me do a weird head pop forward, that's me checking to see if my head's getting the camera or not. It looks like it is a little bit. Okay. Every now and then. Oops. Somehow just closed my activity ring, so that's cool. It's because we're ferociously painting. Right? We're gonna push this up a little bit more, get some more in there. Okay, let's do something we haven't done in a while, which is grab a contrast paint, because I think I have one that I want to use here. Not you, the last one apparently. There it is. Okay. Oops, we did not empty this airbrush. And I wonder why my airbrush needs cleaning so often. Okay, come on. We got this. The rest of the base will take no time at all after this. Okay, there's that. Let's put that there. Let's do the last little bit, which is going to be, I need a reddish brown. You look good. slap this on the base real quickly. As best as we can. Okay, let's hairdry this.
Hey, baby. Oh no!
You remember now that this is a magnetic base, and if you press on it laterally, it'll pop off the handle. Hey Ashes, how are you doing? Well, you're lurking, but thank you for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. We are just quickly wrapping this up. Just kind of taking it easy after a couple long projects. And also realizing that the rest of these are going to be shipping soon, so I should probably finish the core box at least. Okay, we got that. Gonna do another round of hair drying. Okay, there's that. Let's go over with an instant paint real quickly. Don't need these anymore, so let's put them away. Trying to keep our. Oops. We should go there, right? There? No. There. Okay, cool. We're doing the base coat wash basically and dry brush step on this base part because why not? Gonna hair dry this. Okay, there's that. Gonna take out our fancy boy little brushes here. We're gonna grab, why not, let's use khaki. And then Pro Acryl. And I think, well, we're not done with that because we need to paint the base rim once we're done with this. But we We're done with you. We're done with all of you. Someday soon I'll have easier access to these paints. That'd be great.
Fancy, fancy. So we got our little palette there.
So, regardless of if you decide to spend a stupid amount of money on these silly brushes, I do recommend, if you do dry brushing, get a damping pad. So just like a sponge or piece of foam from some packaging, that's basically all this is. You get some water in there, and you want just a tiny bit of moisture on your dry brush. And that'll help keep things from getting too chalky. Like even though we were talking a little bit of smack about Artis Opus because their QC's not great, their YouTube channel is quite good. Especially if you want to learn more about dry brushing. Like they do some pretty crazy stuff. Like it is definitely product placement for their stuff, but it's neat. I'm definitely no expert at dry brushing. But I like to do it on basis because it's fun. Oops. Speaking of dusty, I need to clean out this. Whoa! That's why you should always test it, because I got way too much moisture in there, and now it's painting. So we'll just kind of wipe that up a little bit. Good enough. Okay. Let me use that damping pan to just try to get as much of this stuff out as possible. Make it look like we have jaundice with this khaki color. Oh no. And looks like I'm a little bit about 10 minutes past where we thought we would get, but just need to put that black on the rim. Wipe up the wet paint before we put this in here. Bing, bada, boom. And where are these still? Let's put these away quickly. There we go. Okay. Put the kiki away. We get our sad bottle of Vallejo model color black. That's probably 3 years old now. And just, oh, is it gonna do it? Is it finally out? Oh, we got some paint out of there. Okay, we're good. It's still kicking. I do have an extra of that already, so it's not the end of the world if it did run out. I also have some gloss black. I picked that up from the hobby shop the other day because I wanted to test to see if that's better for putting under metallics than the normal model color black. For whenever I decide to paint metallics again. Oops, that's okay. Yeah, these are for the Marvel United board game that Cool Mini or Not did a little while ago. I have not actually played the game yet, but they had a normal Marvel one, and then they did an X-Men Kickstarter a little less than a year ago. Sorry for not being muted. I don't know, it's like a fun little cooperative versus villain kind of dealio. Very light and easy kind of game. I mostly got these because they look fun to paint. I kind of regret getting as much as I did, because I have the 2 core boxes now, and then I went a little wild with the Kickstarter. But I figure, like Bones, everyone needs to make a mistake on a Cool Mini or Not game at some point, and this is mine. Well, mistake maybe isn't the right word, but being drawn into the FOMO. I just like to make sure that we got a nice solid black base rim on our minis. One more blast of the hairdryer, and we're done. Okay. There she is. Although we need to varnish her real quickly, so let's do that. Still have some of this blue in here. Actually, here. Okay. So we'll dump this. Fill her up. Dump her out. Empty that up. Put that boy away. Grab the matte varnish, our big boy airbrush. Oh no! Causing all sorts of chaos. Okay. Okay, 1 second. Okay. There's that. That's over there. That. Okay. And we, as soon as we get everything put away, we are. Let's right this. Where did my tower go? Made big damages. And we are done. Not beautiful, but done. One less mini on the shelf. That's all I wanted to do today. Nice to just kind of let myself put paint on a thing every now and then. And just not try hard too much. So, that is where, oops, as we drop our brush on the ground, screw it up. Good job, good job. Yeah. So that's where we'll stop for today. Next time, so probably be Friday. I'll know Thursday what we'll be doing. We might be working on Skeleton because her base is coming along pretty well. Or we might work on, I don't know, we might work on Artemis on a simpler base. I'm not liking the base we were working on last time. It's not clicking with me anymore. Do something. Probably a full figure rather than a bust because we just did 2 busts. So I'll try to get the ball rolling on one of those. Yeah, so thank you everyone who stopped by, hung out, chatted, lurked, all those good things. I'm just going to log off rather than deal with raiding because I want to go to bed. So yeah. See ya. Have a good one, everyone. Hasta luego.